All right, well, number 5, T2, T3, it seems like a recurring theme. They want this thing centered where the x is equal to natural log of 2. And they tell me what f of x is. It's fairly straightforward. Also, the derivative should be relatively simple to do. So let's just go through it. That's f of x. F prime, relatively simple. F double prime, relatively simple. F triple prime, relatively simple. What's happening? They're going up by powers of 2. Relatively simple. What do you do now? Well, you got to evaluate this this exponential at the log of 2. So, if you did f of ln 2, let me go through that with you. That's e to the 2 times ln 2. Right, let me write that a little differently. I write it as e ln, well, it's going to be 2 squared, which is 4. Right, what do you get there? You get 4. Right, now if you do f prime at ln 2, again, it should be relatively simple. And why is that? It involves the number you just computed, right? It really does, but there's going to be a coefficient in front of it. So 2 times the number you just computed was 4. So what do you get? You get 8. What's the next one going to be? F double prime ln 2. And again, it still involves the 4. But what's in front of it now? A 4 is in front of it. What's that going to give you? 16. F triple prime ln 2. It's still going to involve the 4. Right, that's what we computed right in the beginning. And what's the coefficient in that? 8. What's 8 times 4 is 32. All right, relatively simple. Let me get my eraser out and start to erase things. And again, we're just walking through the key, and the key's there for a reason. We want you to look at it. All right, so what do you do now? I would write down T2. Right, what's T2 going to look like? Well, it's going to be the f evaluated at ln 2, which is 4, plus f prime evaluated at ln 2, which is 8 over 1 factorial, and then it's going to be x minus ln 2, plus, let's see, we're on that second derivative now. That's going to be 16 divided by 2, because it's 2 factorials 2, and then x minus ln 2 squared. Let me just simplify it a tiny little bit. I don't think it's a good idea to expand that. Yep, it's still possible to make mistakes even if things are simple. What I would recommend you do is look at T2 to make sure you're looking at that. And what's T2? Well, let's take a look at it. This is T2, 4, 8 times x minus ln 2 plus 8x minus ln 2. Now T3 should be relatively easy to write down. The T2 goes down immediately, by the way. But now I got to, put down the that cubic term. And write this over here. 4 plus 8, x minus ln 2 plus 8, x minus ln 2 squared. Let's get the next term on. Well, it's going to be f triple prime evaluated at ln 2, which is 32. And then you're going to get the 3 factorial on the bottom, which is 6. All right, I'm going to reduce to 32/6. How do you do that? Divide through by 2, and you get 16/3. You get my eraser out. I'm going to erase this over here and write down 16/3 instead. Let's just make sure we got that term. We've already verified the first three terms. What do you get? We're getting this over here, 16/3 x minus ln 2 quantity cubed. We're good to go to the next question. Thank you.